And we welcome you back to Ventura College for semifinal number 2. It's the 3C2A Men's Basketball Championships here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Jeff Stoynoff with you. Mike Zapata getting set to join us. And the opening tip, and we're underway. Fullerton in the home whites, winning the opening tap.
It's going to be a tough act to follow here after the overtime thriller. One ran team through to the final. On the court right now for Fresno City, Georgie Dancer, Jonah Brown, Ronald H. Bassar, Carl Snyder, and Ethan Richardson. For the Hornets, Lance Coleman the second, Omaje Smith, Jalen Moore, Roderick McCobb, and Ronnie Reedus.
Ethan Richardson going to be the key for Fresno in the middle. He had 23 and 13 in the victory Thursday night. That's where the offense is going to come from primarily.
Got a feeling it's been a little tougher sledding for Richardson tonight. McCobb strikes first blood with a layup. Tried to go for the dunk, but just lays it in.
And for followers of Fullerton College, the update is Omaje Smith, number 2. Omaje Smith started to feel under the weather, battling an illness starting Wednesday night. That worsened throughout Thursday. They scratched him from the lineup on Thursday, actually took him to the hospital Thursday to get him better hydrated. On the road to recovery. The word is he had a little bit of a setback today, but he's going to try and give it a go. He's in the lineup to start this one for Fullerton.
They're going to need him. Dylan Banks got the start on Thursday rather, did a fantastic job. That one off the mark from LJ Gallegos.
Yeah, Gallegos quickly off the bench, and that's not a big surprise for an Ed Maddock coach team. They're going to go about 10 to 12 deep.
Coleman with the ball. Spin move traveled.
I tell you, Coleman had an all-time superstar performance on Thursday night with 2:42 to go in the game. The Hornets were down 7. 12 in a row for Lance Coleman down the stretch. He scores the last 12 points, brings the Hornets back.
That's a LeBron
for
number.
The win. Yeah, absolutely. I would have gone with Jordan, but that's fine. I can live with LeBron.
Well, shades of him versus the Pistons that propelled them to the finals his first go-round with the Cavs.
Right. Yeah, I didn't have a Jordan closeout performance. There were a lot to choose from. I didn't know I'd have to have one ready, but sure I can come up with one.
That's the one that stands out to me for LeBron.
Right.
I'm sure there's a plethora for you. Omaje Smith gets his hand in there. Unable to finish down low. That was Age Bassar. Snyder can't get that one off, and terrific defense. The best defensive team in the state of California resides in Fullerton, and the Hornets showed just why on that possession.
You know, how tough is Harry Webster on his team and himself in terms of defensive game planning? They went against all-world talent Skylar Chavez on Thursday night. And Chavez went for 28, and they made him work for every bit of that. And after the game, Perry Webster just couldn't believe that they let him get that many points. That he is just going to be a very tough critic. For him, there's no player that they shouldn't be able to stop. They feed it down low. Small in the low post, back outside. Dancer on the drive. The reverse layup, no good. The Hornets still pitching a shutout here early. They lead it 2-0. Ahead to Coleman. Ronnie Reedus back outside.
Nice closeout by Gallegos. Coleman from the elbow. That one in and out. Reedus trying to keep it alive, unable to do so. Small with the rebound for the Rams, and here we go. Gallegos back to Small, guarded by Omaje Smith.
Fresno City, 26 wins in a row.
Small, soft touch, can't get it to go. Off to Lance Coleman.
They started out 2-3, though 2 of their first 5 games were against City College of San Francisco. So that was 2 losses, and since then,
2 good losses early on.
They've been unblemished.
Coleman, great find. Maje Smith from 3. Yes, sir. Maje. 5-0 Fullerton on top of Fresno. 1 seed already through to Championship Sunday. Might we see another? Or might it be an all-Ram final tomorrow? Small looking for a screen, looking for one from Miller. Instead falls him off. Small, great job by Smith. McCobb comes over for the steal. Omaje Smith has that block by Miller, but Miller comes down and fouls McCobb.
Yeah, Miller getting back there, and he's going to make McCobb burn this one from the line. And right now, the Rams out of sorts against this Hornet defense. Among the best in the state all season long in terms of points allowed, field goal percentage allowed. And Perry Webster played for and then coached under Andy Ground, something of a defensive guru in the South, at Saddleback College. So he came by the love of defense, honestly.
Incredible defensive pedigree in his coaching tree.
Interesting story
7-0
for Fresno this season. A little bit of a change of pace for Ed Mack. Last time Fresno was here, much more of an in-your-face team pressuring you throughout, trying to up the pace. It's a little different team for Ed Mack, but he still had all kinds of success coming in here with 28 wins against just 3 losses. And this team a little less with the pressure defense.
Travel underneath, and the defense stifling here for the Fullerton Hornets. And for the Rams, they got anything they wanted inside courtesy of Ethan Richardson. And you had to imagine coming in, that was the matchup that you wanted to see. How would he fare against Ronnie Reedus down low? And Reedus right now getting the better of it. They're not even going to Richardson like they were on Thursday. Too good of a look there for Coleman. Reedus right underneath with the rebound, out to McCobb from 3. That one short. McCobb looking to track down his own rebound. Richardson has it off to Georgie Dancer. Dancer in transition, off to the far side. This is Jonah Brown. Richardson at the top, 17 feet away, looking to turn his face on Jalen Moore. Spin back to the middle, outside, Snyder from 3. First 4 points of the game for Fresno. No, but it's rebounded by Brown. Another possession for Fresno City.
That was about the first good look that the Rams have had, and it came almost 5 minutes into the game.
Basar looking for Dancer on the spin. Dancer can't curtail that from going out of bounds. It goes back to the Hornets, leading 7-0, 15:04 to go. We're watching 3C2A men's basketball, the championship weekend here from Ventura College. We're down to 4. Actually, we're down to 3. One went home earlier. That was Citrus. An overtime thriller versus San Francisco. San Francisco and Justin LaValle with their spot in the final tomorrow, 1 p.m. Winner of this one gets that one. Dancer taps that one out of bounds.
Dylan Banks on the floor for Fullerton. Banks, a great story this season for Fullerton. Really pretty well down the depth chart to start the season, both the injury to Ezekiel Alley. Zeke Alley, he was thrust into a larger role, and he has really blossomed. Perry Webster showing a lot of confidence in him, and that's given him a lot of confidence.
Banks with it right now, gives off to Jalen Moore. 6 on the shot clock. Coleman from NBA range. Lance Coleman the second from downtown. It's a 10-0 run to start things off for Fullerton here in the semifinal.
And does Ed Maddock think about a timeout?
Basar with it at the elbow, looking for somebody cutting. There's just no spacing, no movement. And Fresno incredibly stagnant offensively to start things off. Dancer turning the corner. Moore right there. He gets to the bucket and one. Well, the ball went in. And we have some extracurricular here down on the baseline.
Yeah, Dancer finishes that, and he's standing over, I want to say maybe it was Coleman. You see right there, and you walk over a player, and Mike, you've been on the court more than I have, but that's the kind of thing that doesn't fly when you walk over the player. So Reedus comes over and gets in Dancer's face, because you can't just let that go, and then the jawing starts between Dancer and Reedus, so they'll break it up.
I think there was just a technical foul called on Reedus, or was it just a warning?
I mean,
Savannah Zizian.
Right now, if you're Fullerton, you don't want anything to take away from the flow of the game right now, which is all in your direction, but something of a tough call, too, for Ronnie Reedus. You got to be there for your teammates as well in a situation, so we'll see how it shakes out. Meanwhile, that's a big play by Georgie Dancer. Fresno really struggling offensively, and Dancer patiently weaves his way to the basket, and a chance for a three-point play. That gets them off the schneid.
Finally on the board here.
Yeah, maybe get themselves into this game a little bit.
Dancer shortchanged it. So it does not convert the three-point play opportunity. Dancer in the 2-1-2 trap shell. Looking for Omaje Smith in the corner. He dribbles out of it. Vaj Rice has to go off of him. Dancer, it's off of him, out of bounds. Great play by Roderick McCobb.
Yeah, Fresno trying to up the tempo a little bit. They go to a half-court trap. Nearly produces the turnover. But McCobb, with the athletic play, able to keep it for Fullerton.
Small, Gallegos, and David Rico back on the floor. McCobb, wide open look at three. Instead, he'll pop from the elbow and hit. 12-2. Lead back into double digits here for Fullerton. A dominant stretch early on for the top seed from the south. Snyder with it, holding with the Gallegos. They're looking inside. Vaj Rice doing an incredible job down low against Ethan Richardson. Here comes a double team. Coleman forcing Richardson to pass it out. Gallegos in the middle of the key. Steps through, back off to Rico. Rico, high arcing three. That's off the mark. Jared Small comes through and fouls Omaje Smith on the rebound. Going back to the Hornets.
Well, that was a good job off the double team from Richardson. Gallegos made the cut, but Gallegos into the lane, couldn't really find an angle to put up his shot, had to kick it back outside. But you think that's going to be the recipe for success. You got to get it in Richardson's hands, and then there've got to be the cutters to try and make you pay for sending the double team.
And unfortunately for Jared Small, he was bumped by McCobb into Omaje Smith. And Small whistled for the foul. Coleman able to break the press, gets it back. Already with an early three. Job by McCobb, not traveling there. He finds the baseline, can't find the basket though. Gallegos with the rebound. 13 minutes to go in the first half. It's been all Fullerton early on. Gallegos off to Small. Small gives it back to Gallegos. Hard dribble out to Miller. Miller going baseline. Coleman with the block. Up ahead to McCobb. Rico trailing. Layup up. Not good. Small up high for the rebound. Track meet ensues here in Ventura. The 2019 3C2A basketball championship in the men's bracket. Snyder, top of the key. Turn and face. Gives off. This is Rico. Rico inside to Miller. Guarded by Vaj Rice. Defense is so tough. Get up an easy shot versus the Hornets. 4 on the shot clock. LJ is going to have to make something happen. A bailout foul as Rice comes over and Gallegos and Banks starting to get into it. It's a nice job by Alonzo Maxwell. It's Alonzo Maxwell, Savannah Azizi, and Danny Yee, officials here today.
You get a good sense of the way the Hornets play defense. Down to 5 on the shot clock, and they send the hard trap out front on Gallegos. But you can't commit a foul in that situation. Now you allow them to reset the shot clock and get things reset. Got Gallegos about 30 feet out. Richardson, meanwhile, returns for Fresno. For a short stint on the bench.
Dancer looking for a cutting Ethan Richardson. Reedus with the forearm, not letting him get position. Battle of the big men down low, and right now Fullerton decidedly getting the better of it. Banks struggled from long range on Thursday. Gives out to Omaje Smith. Smith inside to Vaj Rice, the lefty with the reverse layup, and it's good. Terrific execution in the half court from the Hornets.
That's a good finish by Rice. So easy to get in too much of a hurry in a situation like that. But he takes the time, gets to a move he's comfortable with.
Dancer looking inside. Richardson. Brown gets a defense off of it. Blocked by Reedus down low.
The enforcer, Ronnie Reedus, coming over to erase that layup.
Points in short supply here for Fresno. Rice up and under travel.
I'm a little surprised to see so much passing on the three-point shots. Fresno City is a team upwards of 40% from three-point range. This is a team that can shoot it. Get the ball into Richardson's hands, passes outside. You should have some open looks from three.
Agreed.
But if you look at Fresno right now, they've attempted 4. They've missed them all in the first about 9 minutes.
Coming up on the 11-minute mark here in the first half. Gallegos with it out front, working on Dylan Banks. Fresno with it. Need some points. They need them in a hurry. I heard whispers of everyone really talking about, Fullerton doesn't really have a chance. Fresno looks so good. They're down their best player, their point guard on the year, and the year that Fresno is finally going to make it into the final. Man, what a statement to start things off for the Hornets in this one. Banks gives off to Bonner, gets it back. Looking inside for Ronnie Reedus, working on Carl Snyder. Backs down, step through, layup up, no good, but he's fouled by Snyder. And Ronnie Reedus going to the line.
That's a good hard drop step from Ronnie Reedus and really forces that foul.
Drop step middle, pump, step through. Snyder, really nothing he can do there. Reedus just puts so much pressure on you with his broad shoulders and muscle content. This free throw up and good, and considering how much bulk he has, pretty nice touch. For big.
Yeah, Fresno City as a team on the season, they shot over 50% from the floor.
Timeout on the floor, 10:20 to go, 15-2. Fullerton on top of Fresno.
I started to make the point, Michael, as Reedus readies the free throw, that Fresno, very good shooting team, over 50% from the floor on the season. They're 1 of 10 right now, and that's a tough spot for Ed Maddock and this Fresno City team. When you're struggling from the field, you really don't want to start just jacking up threes, but right now, those might be the best shots they can get.
Yeah. Great backdoor by Rico. Bonner has to foul him. Gonna make him earn it.
Yeah, the Hornets just really don't let you get good looks anywhere close to the basket. So a non-shooting foul. The Rams will keep it midway through the first half, and they trail this one 16-2. Small outside. Now they get it to Richardson in the low post. Double team comes, they work it around. Small will try for a three, in and out. Well, they reversed it for a pretty good look. But Small's three rattles out. And the Rams stay stuck on 2 points. Rice. Reverse Banks in the corner. The three is good. Dylan Banks. And a foul on the play as well, as Dancer tried to close out. Well, no, I say it's Small. Trying to close out. So the three counts. And the foul on Fresno off the ball. So the Hornets get the ball back. Chance for a 5, even a 6-point trip down the floor. And the Hornets are trying to put this one on ice early, though we saw the Owls jump out to a big lead against City College of San Francisco, about this size lead. And the Rams managed to come roaring back in that one to win in our first semifinal. So a long way still to go. Coleman trying to lob, looking for Reedus, and the ball knocked away and stolen by the Rams. Gallegos Up top, Snyder works it around. Basar back outside to Gallegos, the shot clock at 13. Now down to 5 on the shot clock. The Rams still looking for something. Reach-in foul on Jalen Moore with 2 on the shot clock. Moore trying to come up with the steal. A non-shooting foul. It's the 5th on the Hornets as a team. First. Well, they're saying this is on McCobb. I thought that was on Moore with the reach-in, but either way, the Rams have it back. A shot clock now at 20. High screen from Richardson. Dancer out to Gallegos. Richardson drives the lane, forces one up, and a whistle and a foul called. Ethan Richardson still looking for his first points with a couple of free throws coming.
Everybody outside of Georgie Dancer is looking for their first points on the day for Fresno.
Yeah. Rams just happy they're not looking for their first points still, but they have had difficulty finding their way against this Hornet defense. Aptly named, perhaps, because it seems to be a swarming defense, particularly in the half court.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Fullerton has brought the nest to Ventura.
1 out of 2.
The Rams getting eaten up. 19-3. 8:35 to go in the first half, and
well, I think obviously you got enough time. The score can be surmounted here if you're Fresno, but I think you have to be concerned about just how much difficulty they're having finding any kind of open shots offensively.
It would be one thing if they were getting good shots and they just weren't falling. Coleman with the foul, but they're not. They just can't find any type of offensive rhythm. They can't even run their stuff, and Fullerton has an answer for everything they want to do. This is a team that's well scouted, and Fresno's going to have to throw a curveball here. They're going to have to mix it up. And to be honest, I don't know what they're doing. I mean, as far as wanting to attack down low, that's not there. Reedus is right. I mean, he's playing Richardson one-on-one, whereas versus Chafee, he did not have any problem scoring down low. Of course, like we said, we figured that was going to be the case. Miller good on both free throws.
Yeah, for the most part, if you go back to Thursday night, Fresno City, it was something of an ugly contest against Chafee. I think Chafee was able to be disruptive in a lot of ways against Fresno. But the Rams shot the ball pretty well, 50% from the floor, 7 of 17 from three-point range. So they seem to adjust to the building pretty well. And here's the steal by Basar.
Basar has it blocked by Reedus, but he's fouled.
So this is really just a lot about the Hornets' defense
Yeah.
Here in this one so far.
Top team in the state defensively. We talked about it. Reedus, nice effort getting back. Reedus now with 2.
But you look up, a couple of free throws coming here. Maybe get it down to 12. And I think if you're Ed Maddock and the Rams on that Rams bench, you're just thinking about let's get in under 10 if we can, chip away at this. We got a lot of time. And then go from there in the second half. But you're just trying to chip away a little bit at a time. You can't come back all at once.
This is an opportunity here for Fresno to go on a bit of a run. Basar missing on the first free throw. Second one also off the back iron. Miller can't get the rebound. Roderick McCobb over to Omaje Smith.
But you got to do yourself some favors and knock down your free throws. You can't give away opportunities.
Full court pressure. Hornets break it. Omaje Smith relocates down low looking for Rice. It's tapped out of bounds by Miller. It will stay with the Hornets. 15 on the shot clock, but here comes Ethan Richardson. It's a good move here by Coach Maddock. Tell you,
Mike, that was very good rotation from the weak side defensively on a couple of good fakes from Omaje Smith.
Agreed.
And oftentimes that leads to a wide open layup, one extra pass. But the rotation comes from the weak side. They're able to break it up.
7:42 to go, 19-15. Macabre corner three out of the baseline, out of bounds play, off the mark. Age Bizarre with the rebound, tracks it down over to Georgie Dancer. Dancer trying to attack the defense for Fullerton before they could set up, unable to do so. Age Bizarre enters at the high post, outside. This is Rico. Rico, no spacing, has to kick it back. Age Bizarre daring him to shoot that shot. 14 on the shot clock. Here's Dancer at the top. He's going to reset. Now how about this? Macabre is calling out the play. What Dancer wants to do, so they pressure him, get him out of what he wants to do. Inside, Rice, blocking foul, and one, Ethan Richardson.
Well, that was great execution offensively. The touch pass, Richardson with a good cut, and then the strength to get it up on the glass and in.
Down to the final second of the shot clock, and that's incredible work by Ethan Richardson. And the Rams starting to find their groove here. And with Reedus out, Richardson unable to capitalize, but he does score on that possession. Cuts it to an 8 or 12-point deficit rather. Smith over to Coleman. That's too easy. 18-footer, short. Fresno dodges the bullet. Jonah Brown inside. That's an offensive foul. Richardson. Raj Rice. That's incredible anticipation on his part. And we'll see him here as Richardson wants to feel contact. He lowers the shoulder, and Rice is right there.
Tell you, Vaj Rice has really had the advantage in terms of post defense of working against Ronnie Reedus in practice, and you can see that at practice. Just a terrific post defender. That's great anticipation against a bigger man to get to a spot and draw the offensive foul.
6:30 to go here in the first half. Fullerton, double-digit lead for most of this first half.
Meanwhile, the Hornets have started to stagnate a little bit offensively. I'd like to see something getting toward the basket, settling for jumpers right now. And the body language not very good, seem to be fading away from the basket.
Agreed. Coleman from three, that one's short. Looking for his own rebound, can't get it. And Jeff, exactly right, settling on that shot. It's an errant three by Lance Coleman. The second, he has 3 points. Macabre with 6. Right. Fullerton, if offensively they had any type of continuity right now, they'd be up by 20. Instead, they're only up by 12, so Fresno sticking around here, albeit a very tough first half. Age Bizarre to the rack. Charge or block? Nope, charge. Coleman right there. It's a great play.
Well, it's so difficult to get to the basket starting from about 20 to 25 feet out. That's just a lot of time for a defender to get into position and draw the charge. And we tend to see that over and over again.
And Coleman just beats the man to the spot, trying to go to the Euro step. Coleman saw that before it was coming. Cobb on the dribble, working against Nick Cole. Maje Smith over to Jalen Moore, way downtown off the back iron. Snyder with a rebound. In transition now for the Rams. Georgie Dancer with the layup. That one off the mark. No call made. A little bit of contact, but great job by Omaje Smith staying home. Omaje Smith 3-on-1 has numbers. Macabre from three. No. Richardson with a weak side move.
That was a 3-on-1 for the Hornets, and they elected for the transition three.
Got to get a better shot 3-on-1, that's for sure. Richardson, a man down low, a lot of contact underneath. No call made again. They're letting him play a little bit.
Now Richardson elects to go to the fadeaway on that shot, and that helps bring the no call.
Moore from three, another three attempted now by Fullerton. Get to some stats on those shortly. Snyder in the corner from 3. That's essentially a 6-point transition. From 3, Fullerton 3 of 12. 1 of 7 now for Fresno City. The lead into single digits for Fullerton. Moore, nobody picks him up. That one off the back iron yet again.
Hornets took 43s on Thursday night, so they're not going away from that shot.
They shoot it very well on the season, but you can't get trigger happy. We saw what happened to Citrus in the first game versus City College of San Francisco, the defending state champs, who will have an opportunity on Sunday to defend their title and go back-to-back. The lead remains 9 here for Fullerton as they take possession. Omaje Smith with the ball off to Coleman. Here's McCobb back to Coleman at the top of the key, looking to step into a 3, keep the defense honest. McCobb, one dribble over to Omaje Smith. Pump fake. McCobb moves the defense, wide open, top of the key. Another 3, another missed 3 for Fullerton.
Yeah, there is something of a missed opportunity here for Fullerton. The cold shooting has really allowed the Rams to hang around. They've got the lead down to 9.
Dancer looking to spin. Coleman right there for help. The kick out to Georgie Dancer. Working one-on-one on the weak side versus Roderick McCobb. Dancer going a little old man game. Dream shake underneath. Scoop shot up and good for Georgie Dancer. Nice finish.
Meanwhile, this is a 7-0 run.
It was 19-5, memory serves. So Fresno and the Rams starting to close the gap here at the end of the first half. Rice with the left-hand step through. Travel again. No. Contact down low on the shot.
Yeah, say a push from Snyder.
That's a good job by Rice staying home with the pivot foot. Bodge Rice.
62% foul shooter.
Banks getting ready to check in. Costco wholesale substitutions at the desk for Fresno. Miller, Small, Daniel Rico. That's the first time we've seen him. Jonah Brown, L.J. Gallegos on the floor right now for Fresno. Banks, Rice, Jalen Moore, Roderick McCobb, and Lance Coleman, the second on the floor right now for Fullerton. 3:15 to go in the first half. First free throw off the mark. Second free throw money for Bodge Rice. The lead back to 8 for Fullerton. And he'll be replaced by Ronnie Reedus. Stretch run here in the first half. Three-quarter court trap. Rico over to Small. Small nearly traveled, keeps his pivot foot, gets it back from Gallegos. Is working one-on-one against Jalen Moore. A little bit of a 2-3 shell look from the Hornets. Reedus staying home. Under 10 on the shot clock. Small trying to make something happen. Can't get around Dylan Banks. Gallegos, Miller from 3. Stutters, falls to the floor. Rico's going to have to get a shot off. They won't. Gallegos at the end of the shot clock, they'll rule that it was out of his hands. And we'll have a jump ball here. Arrow in favor of Fresno. Good battle down low. Reedus and Miller getting into it.
You know, it's tempting the way that the Hornets play such aggressive in-your-face defense. You want to start to go with pump fakes, thinking that you're going to get them in the air, maybe get them out of position. But they're incredibly disciplined as well. They tend not to leave their feet at all on pump fakes. And you get what just happened in the last possession, which is the shot clock winding down, and now you got to force something up.
Backdoor from Gallegos, can't get it to him. That's a great recovery by Banks, and that's going to be a foul on Jalen Moore. And 2 shots coming to Rico.
That last possession, Fresno had a couple of opportunities to take what would have been open outside shots. They went for the pump fake instead. The Hornets stayed on their feet and ended up with Gallegos just having to jack one up.
David Rico at the line. Going to cut into this Fullerton lead on the first, and he does, down to a 7-point lead.
Meanwhile, I think if you're on the Fresno sideline right now, you're giddy with what's going on. You've got to be thinking, well, I don't know how much worse we can really struggle in a half, and here we are. We're only down 7. We're still very much in this.
Yeah, the confidence has to be booming right now for Coach Maddock. Second free throw off the mark. Reedus with a rebound. Swiped away by Azbazar. It's out of bounds. It'll go back to the Hornets. 2:28 to go. Some missed opportunities here for the Hornets as they have settled for the long ball here in the first. 3 of 14 from downtown. They shoot 40 plus on the season. McCobb, guarded by Nick Cole. Coleman picks up his dribble. Cross-court pass over to Dylan Banks. Inside, one-on-one. Reedus down. Here comes a double team. Skip pass over to Coleman. Saves it from going out of bounds. Omaje Smith back to Coleman. Contested three for Lance Coleman, the second State Player of the Year in Southern California. Lance Coleman, the second, the final 12 points for the Hornets on Thursday in the win versus a very tough Santa Rosa Bear Cub squad.
I'll tell you what, if I'm guarding Lance Coleman, I want him to shoot from right on top of the three-point line, because every time he steps about 3 or 4 feet behind it, that's really his range.
Yeah, I'd be nervous if he was shooting from the volleyball line. Just incredible range for Lance Coleman.
But he seems more comfortable, and seeing a few games of his this year, if he's a few feet behind, that seems to fit in better with his range.
Back to a double-digit lead for Fullerton. Under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Fullerton with a chance to add to that lead. Brown all over Coleman, and Reedus looking for the roll, and he gets it. The big man.
That's a great job by Reedus, not waiting for the double team. He had good position, and he went right to work. No dribble.
Big Ronnie Reedus showing out well here in the semifinal. Great inside out to the mid post. Jonah Brown from three.
Yeah, working against the zone. You feed the high post and then back outside for an open look.
And 9-point advantage for Fullerton. Reedus now with 4 after the made bucket last time down. He's going to have to get out of the key, though. He does. McCobb back to Coleman. Coleman pulls up. Wide open 17-footer. That's off the mark. Reedus trying to keep it alive. Gallegos saves it from going out of bounds off to Georgie Dancer. Here comes Fresno. Under a minute to play in the first half. Gallegos looking down low for Reedus. He's going to have to get off of him. Good fronting by Ronnie. And Danny East telling Ronnie Reedus to not extend the forearm. Reedus playing with 2 fouls. Big screen from Richardson frees up Snyder on the baseline. Wide open 3. Reedus going straight up. Reverse layup travel.
Yeah, Richardson.
No, it's a foul on Richardson with the hook. I wonder if we can see that.
He's trying to get to the reverse.
That's a great job by Mike Nahar, cameraman down there, picking that up. Great job, boys, on the replay, picking that up. And Richardson whistled for the offensive foul.
Second foul on Richardson. And he's still on the floor. Just 20 seconds remaining, but he has to be careful on this last possession.
Fortunately, Fresno can't take a timeout with Fullerton having possession. 15-second mark, high horn set. Banks off a screen, Lance Coleman, one-on-one. Omaje Smith, good look from 3. Going to relocate on the three-point line, not there, nearly stolen. 1 on the shot clock, Banks from way downtown! Dylan Banks! At the end of the first half, and Fullerton, a dominant performance over Fresno, and they lead it by 12 here in the semis. You are watching the 3C2A 2019 Basketball Championship from Ventura.
It's more than March. It's kinship, resilience, trust. It's love, a feeling of purpose, pure. It's your ode of honor, a melody of madness, until only one remains. The lights go dim, the crowd's roaring, but it's only you. You are the game.
at the half, 28-16, a dominant performance in the first by Fullerton over Fresno. Semifinal number 2, and this could be a lot worse if you're Fresno only down by 12. It could literally be 30.
Yeah, the Hornets' offense kind of went away midway through that first half, but a couple of threes late pushed the lead back out to 12. But right now, for the Hornets in this matchup, I think this is two teams that want to do a lot of the same things, and right now, the Hornets just executing a little bit better on both ends.
Yeah, the Hornets are getting good looks at threes. They're just not going. You start to think about, regression to the mean. You look at the final play of the first half as Dylan Banks, as the buzzer expired on the replay. You see it right there with the deep three, and very fortunate. This is a game that could come down to 3 points. Fresno wasn't ready in that first half, and obviously it's hard to establish flow when you have as many substitutions as you have for Fresno. But we'll see if they can get it going in the second half. They're not going to get it from down low and Ethan Richardson like they were during the Chafee game. It's going to have to come from the outside, small. Maybe even bring out Snyder, get a couple threes that way. Georgie Dancer did a great job of penetrating, getting into the middle, getting his. But there's got to be more than that. Dancer right now leads the way for Fresno with 4 points.
Yeah, I think one thing we know from covering Fullerton a little bit this season is they're going to take away option number 1. Yeah. Whatever the first thing you want to do is, they're not going to let you do that. And so then it's incumbent upon the team playing to make the adjustments necessary. And I think if you're Fresno City, I think you can get the shots you want, but I think they need to be a little bit more decisive. Take those shots a little more quickly. I think right now, too many pump fakes, a little too much ball movement right now, and that's allowing the Hornets to really put the pressure on them without having to pay.
Yeah, the pump fakes are not going to work against a team that's so well disciplined as Fullerton is. A couple minutes away from the start of the second half, 28-16. When we come back, Fullerton looks to punch their ticket to Championship Sunday. Stay tuned. The app, SoCal College Sports 1, catch this on the go. Also archives to the channel as well. Reedus over to Coleman. Jalen Moore looking inside. Reedus working on Snyder. Here comes a double team from Richardson. Cross-court pass over to McCobb. McCobb outside. Omaje Smith thought about it for 3. Bluffs at it. Instead kicks inside to Reedus on a mismatch. Kick out. Wide open. Roderick McCobb from 3. No good. Another good look from 3 that just doesn't fall for Fullerton.
Yeah, McCobb hasn't hit a 3 yet in this one, but that time, like the body language a little bit better, stepped into that one. Pretty good shot.
Richardson over Reedus. Reedus playing with 2 fouls, so a little tentative defensively, not as aggressive as he was in the first.
And a little more decisive against the shot clock, not letting the Hornets set up as much defensively.
Reedus inside with his hook shot, and he responds on the other end. Battle of the bigs early here in the second half. Reedus and Richardson.
Yeah, Fresno, you might want to think about going a little Paul Westhead here, 4 to 5 second shot clock.
Dancer with it on the far side, working against Roderick McCobb, up to Snyder. Snyder with range as a big man, so you have to be wary of that. Reedus playing straight behind on Richardson. Coleman doubling, but he leaves Dancer. Swung around to Snyder from 3. That one off the back iron. McCobb up high for the rebound. Fullerton gets into their set, force it out of Jalen Moore's hand. Here comes a double team on the baseline. Reedus looking to reverse it. Inside out, beautiful play. Moore from 3, in and out. Fullerton again comes up empty from beyond the arc. Snyder. Over the Dancer, small at the top of the key. He'll shoot that. Working on Omaje Smith. Terrific footwork defensively by Omaje Smith. Better offense from Jared Small.
Well, they elect not to send the double team, and Small with good patience, able to get the shot off the glass.
We're going to have a warning on Coach Ed Maddock.
Jared Small wants the call there, and he's arguing for it, and then Ed Maddox steps in, and you wonder if maybe Ed Maddox is maybe trying to protect his player a little bit there and have his back and get after the officials a little bit too.
Rajay Smith gets away maybe with a push-off. Has it. Wide open from three. He's going to get to the rack. He'll go up. No contact, or no call made on the contact. Reedus with a rebound. Gives it over to Rajay Smith. Coleman from three. Off. Reedus with the tip. 3 Fresno jerseys around Ronnie Reedus, and he still gets the offensive putback to lead out to 12 now for the Hornets. Steal here for Fullerton.
Reedus over 4 offensive rebounds a game average on the season. Just a beast on the boards.
Beast period. He is a tough guard. More in the corner. They're working inside out again. Reedus looking to reverse. Here comes a double team from Richardson. Reedus on the baseline looking for Coleman. Slashing across, and going to have a push called on Georgie Dancer, fouling Coleman underneath.
Coleman's versatility makes him so difficult to guard. Seen him take shots outside, but he has a good post game and can take advantage of smaller guards, and that time Dancer caught bodying up.
The full array. He's got a great post game, great mid-range, and well, we've seen the range in general. Moore from three. Third time's a charm here in the second half. No. Again, Fullerton settling for the three, and we'll get to the numbers from long distance here in a minute.
Yeah, I believe they're 5 of 19 now.
Richardson, here comes the double. Small from three, high archer, that's off the mark. Moore with the rebound, he's fouled, or they're going to say he's out of bounds. Moore came down out of bounds before the contact from Richardson, so it's going to stay with Fresno.
That's big, because Richardson played with 2 fouls right now. And that might have easily been number 3. I think looking at one more was coming down, looked like a good call.
Crossing action here on the baseline out of bounds play. Oh, that's a great move by Rico on the back door and defined out of the baseline out of bounds. Good misdirection by Fresno to get a bucket on the board. Back to 10. McCobb looking inside for Ronnie Reedus. One-on-one. We'll have to get it out as Dancer comes over with the double team. Majay Smith bluffs at the three, takes it to the rack, gets it up, gets it in. Majay Smith did not play on Thursday, courtesy of the flu bug. He's gritting it out here, and he looks decidedly hindered. He's really battling out there. He's tired. Looks pretty good on that possession, though. Here's Small. Working around, left-handed shot up versus Coleman is good.
Well, Small brings a lot of what Lance Coleman does to the table for Fresno, and he's able to take advantage of his size advantage down low, working one-on-one.
First around over to Smith. Majay Smith. Reedus ducking in. Timing just a little off to get him the ball inside. Instead, they enter to Coleman in the post. Great cut by McCobb. Dancer on the steal. Gallegos off to Dancer. Transition here for Fresno. Want to get into their routine before Fullerton can set up. Small from three. No. Coleman on the weak side. See the energy level here for Majay Smith. Battling. Wide open. Roderick McCobb from three. And again, the Hornets struggle from beyond the arc. 5 of 20 now, Storm?
Yes, I believe that's right. 21 now, I believe.
The official live stat. Dancer bluffs at the three inside Small. Point blank. That's a goaltend on Ronnie Reedus. So the lead into single digits here for Fullerton. And the Hornets are going to take a timeout, their first of the day. 34-26. The Rams sticking around. Fresno closing in here. They've outscored Fullerton 10-6 to start the second half, trailing it by 8.
Yeah, we were wondering how long it took them to get 10 points in the first half. I didn't look that up, but it was about 15 to 16 minutes, I would say, to get that many points on the board. So some good adjustments at the half for the Rams.
Banks on the floor from 3. He had a triple at the end of the first half. Struggled from 3 on Thursday. Not struggling here today. He's got 3 of them.
Yeah, 3 for 3. So Banks feeling it from long range.
Back out to double digits. It's an 11-point lead for Fullerton. Semifinal number 2. The winner gets San Francisco tomorrow. Richardson maybe traveled, hook shot up and good.
That's a dangerous dribble for Richardson in traffic, but helps him gather, and he's able to knock down the hook shot.
For Fullerton, you need to dig that out. Roger McCobb over Jalen Moore. Fullerton going to set up the offense. Banks, crossover on Georgie Dancer. Inside Ronnie Reedus. Beautiful play from Dylan Banks.
What a find Dylan Banks has been for the Hornets this season. Really grown into that point guard role.
Brown with it. Near side. Skip pass over to Small. This is the lineup that you like if you're Coach Maddock. Dancer reverses. Snyder not looking to shoot. Brown has it on the far side. That shot soft off the glass. Jonah Brown.
Well, one of the rare times that a pump fake effective there for the Rams ends up hitting the runner in the lane.
Brown hit a 3 in the first half. That's certainly in the back of the lines of Fullerton, trying to run him off the 3-point line, especially with a wide open look. Reedus looking inside. He'll kick it over to McCobb and he'll repost. Move it around. Banks inside. Tough shot. Rebounded by Snyder.
Anticipating contact. Good defense by the Rams. No foul.
A little bit of an overcommit offensively from Dylan Banks. It's a reach on Reedus on the floor. Third foul now on Ronnie.
That's a nice adjustment by Richardson. Give himself a little bit of space. Make Reedus move his feet a little bit more from the elbow. And he picks up the foul, and now Perry Webster with a decision to make. 12:23 to go. Got to come back with Vaj Rice.
Dancer going to inbound the basketball here. For Jared Small. It's up by 9. Coming up on the 12-minute mark in the second half. Small again. Crafty inside for the layup.
Working against Coleman.
Small now with 10 points. Check that, 8 points for Jared Small. Coleman, turn and face, outside. Nearly threw it away. Jalen Moore able to track it down. Coleman relocates in the corner. It's a 3. Does he get the roll? No. Rice keeps it alive. He's fouled by LJ. Good job by Rice putting up his hands and going away.
And take a look at the rebound here. And yeah, it's a good call on a reach in by Gallegos, trying to work that one free.
Yep.
Well, this becomes a big situation for Lance Coleman with Reedus on the bench. I'd like to see the Hornets think about spreading the floor a little bit. Maybe have Coleman work a little bit more in the post.
Yep. Moore, wide open 3 off the baseline, out of bounds play, unable to get it to go. Struggles continue from long range for the Hornets. Banks guarding Dancer. Dancer to the bucket, and Georgie scores.
Nobody stops the ball, and Dancer able to get all the way to the front of the rim.
39-34. The closest that Fresno's been in a while. Banks at the top of the key. Gives it over to McCobb. Reverse pass over to Moore. Shooters keep shooting. Jalen Moore with the triple.
Moore's first 3. My memory is right.
Shooters see one go in. Watch out.
Well, he's not going to be shy. He took 14 3-point attempts on Thursday night, hitting 4 of them.
He's taken 7 here. 1 of 7 on the day. He has 3 points. Richardson on Vaj Rice. Step through. That's terrific defense in the low post by Vaj. 10 on the shot clock.
You know, Vaj Rice is not a big shot blocker. I think Richardson can go to his first move.
Outside, Rico from 3 at the end of the shot clock. Coleman trying to keep it alive. Tapped out of bounds by Jalen Moore. It will stay with Fresno in a fresh clock.
I think when Richardson goes to a lot of fakes, he's really playing into what Rice wants to do defensively. The guy that he has to get in the air.
I think Brown was the last to hit that.
Yeah, see
what that look like, Emery?
Let's see one more time here.
Yeah, that's forward. Yeah, and they reversed the call. That's a great job of officiating, reversing the call. So Fullerton now with it. Nice job, boys. Emery Johnson, Ryan Wilmore. In the broadcast cockpit. Rice from the elbow. That one off the back iron. Brown with a rebound for Fresno. 10 minutes to go. Here in semifinal number 2 in the men's bracket. 2 more games today. The women. Battle 1 seeds. Richardson down low with the flush on the car.
Well, that's going to your first move. Richardson establishing great position down low.
That's going on the highlight reel for sure. We'll get to that in a bit.
Finishes with authority.
And that might spark this Ram ball club here. That's what happens when you don't have Reedus down low. In foul trouble right now. Coleman goes to his move. Tries to finish up top, and he does. Fullerton will take a timeout. Want to talk things over defensively. Get everybody a breather as well. 44-36, 9:26 to go. It's the 3C2A Basketball Championships from Mitchell. Sunday's final. The winner takes on CCSF. A winner today, a big comeback win, overtime win over Citrus. They were down 15 at the half. And the Rams from San Francisco storm back. Let's see if the Rams can turn the tide here in semifinal number 2. Small with it out front. Age Bizarre. Snyder from 3 in the corner. That one well off the mark. Rebounded by Roderick McCabe. Dribbles out of trouble. Up ahead to Dylan Banks. Banks on the dribble. Finds a streaking Coleman. Transition 3. Lance Coleman the second. The lead back to double digits for Fullerton.
And a couple of feet behind the line. Coleman right in his comfort zone.
Flashing the range is Lance Coleman. 4 of 13 on the night, but he does lead the Hornets with 11 points. Age Bizarre stolen by Lance Coleman. Guess who? Banks on the dribble. Going to slow things down. Get a screen from Vaj Rice. He's going to turn the corner. Kicks it back. Reversed over to Roderick McCabe. A look inside for Vaj Rice. You're not going to guard me from 17th. I'm going to bury it in your grill. Snyder needs to step out on that. Lead back to 13 for Fullerton. point, if you're Fresno, do you think about calling a timeout here? Settle your guys down. Fullerton on a run. Richardson not in the ball game right now. 7 on the shot clock. Gallegos driving the lane inside. Bazar outside. Brown from 3. Shot clock violation. Fresno back to Fullerton. Possession will go.
Early in that possession, Fresno had an opportunity after getting the ball into the high post, but after that, the Hornets did a great job taking away the high post, and you saw the Rams really struggling to create an open shot. So important when you're running that 2-3 zone to defend the high post.
That's where you definitely want to attack it. Cobb over to Coleman. Pass nearly stolen by Georgie Dancer. Moore comes away with it. Back to McCobb in the corner. Looking for Raj Rice down low. Instead kicks up top. Lance Coleman wide open from 3. Off the back iron. Looking for his own rebound. He can't track it down. Falls into Ronnie Reedus on the bench. We'll go back to Fresno. Scheduled tomorrow, 1 o'clock and 3:30. Of course, those times are tentative after the 1 o'clock game. Gallegos. Over to Dancer, inside, stolen by Vaj Rice. Pass really not there for Ethan Richardson from Dancer.
Yeah, the spacing, a problem on that one. A little too close together, and the ball right at Richardson's feet.
And with this lead here, getting back out to 13, I think you can afford, if you're Perry Webster, to keep Ronnie Reedus on the bench a little longer. Moore from 3 for the jugular! Jalen Moore, his second triple. He's up to 6 points. The lead is up to 16 points. Ethan Richardson down low. Tries to throw it off of a player. Banks right there. Up ahead to Jalen Moore. McCobb driving. Coleman from 3. Another one? No. That one off. Gallegos, bring it up. Just don't know if Fresno has the firepower to get back in this one. Rico down low, scores an easy layup.
A little hesitation from Rico, anticipating a shot block, but able to go up and put it in.
Coming up on the 5-minute mark. Banks reverses. Fullerton killing some clock here. Thankfully so. 10. Moore, number 10, shoots it from 3. Doesn't get the roll. Rice keeps it alive. Tries to throw it out of bounds. Banks tracks it down. Another possession here for Fullerton, and Banks is going to hold.
Yeah, you can run this down to about 5 minutes right now if you're Fullerton.
Guarantee you that's exactly what Perry said on the sideline. Moore with a wide open 3 in the corner. That one off the front iron. Here comes Coleman flying in for the rebound. Another offensive possession for Fullerton, looking to milk this one out.
Athleticism at the guard position with Smith and Coleman and Banks makes the Hornets such an effective rebounding team on long rebounds, and that's part of their success on both ends, both defending the three-point shot and taking three-point shots.
Coleman from 15 feet. Money in the bank.
Yeah, 2 offensive rebounds there, ultimately leading to 2 points for Coleman.
Coleman now up to 13 points, 54-38. Timeout, Fresno. Starting to get away from the Rams. 4:37 to go. bring it inside line, out of bounds. 4:37 to go, trailing by 16. Lance Coleman has come alive here in the second half. Now with 13 points, Ronnie Reedus now back on the floor with 10. He's in double figures, playing with 3 fouls though, guarding Ethan Richardson on the low block. Great job by Ronnie staying in front of his defensive assignment. Small, with under 10 to go on the shot clock, loses it. It's on the floor. Small, timeout, Fresno. And it's above the free throw line. Are they going to... I want to say Small was below the free throw line. See Alonzo Maxwell point to the sideline. I think that's where they're going to take it out of bounds.
There's 5 on the shot clock.
Well, every offensive possession at this point is so crucial for Fresno.
So tough an assignment for Fresno because the Hornets just love playing defense. So there's very little lapse in there. So much of their team identity wrapped up in really playing lockdown defense. So they're having fun out there with 4 minutes left.
Yeah, something tells me that sometimes the balls don't even come out during practice for Perry Webster and Andy Ground. Shout out to Andy if he's watching. He might be in the building.
No, he'd be sitting there thinking, "Hey, we just beat these guys right before the right before the postseason."
Now he'll be back here soon enough. Richardson with 4 on the shot clock, winding down, goes to the hook, pet move, off the mark, in and out. Under 4 to go. Reedus with the ball fake, down low, here comes the double team, dribbles away from it, swings it over to Dylan Banks. Outside, Roderick McCobb with the coffin nail, no. Might not even need it. Hole might be deep enough already.
I'll tell you, rim's just got a lid on it for Rod McCobb.
Really does. Meanwhile, Rico hits from 3. And Coach Ed Maddock called the 32nd timeout. After the made 3, gets it down to a 13-point advantage. We'll call a full timeout. We'll take a timeout ourselves. After the made 3 from David Rico, Fresno City with a bit of a pulse here. With their season on life support with 3:33 to go, down by 13 against the top defensive team in the state, Fullerton College. Coleman trying to avoid the double team. He's able to do so. They reverse it down to Jalen Moore. Moore kicks it back to Coleman, and there's a foul on Agsgabar.
Yeah, H-Bizarre trying to jump the passing route there, and he nearly has the steal. And just catches Coleman.
The third team foul, so quite a bit of ways. Banks on the dribble, keeping the dribble. Under 10 on the shot clock. 7, crossover to his left. Banks with the floater, up, no good, charge. Miller steps in, takes one in the chest, and it will go back to Fresno.
And again, Banks there trying to start that drive from outside the 3-point line. And tough assignment. Rams with the good defense.
He needs a jump stop there. You could say he was under control there, but jump stop, floater. Instead, it's a charge. Go back the other way.
You know, as I watch, I just feel like you start wanting to say the line. The first rule about driving from 25 feet away is don't do it.
Richardson powering down low. Under 3 to play. Richardson good on the first free throw.
10 points, 7 rebounds for Richardson. And this is a tough assignment for Ethan Richardson, but 4 of 6 from the floor.
As we see Coach Justin LeBaugh scouting the next opponent. He'll likely be on this link later this evening. Watching the game. Everybody seems to be suffering from a cough.
Not you. You've been taking the cough drops all weekend. You're all right.
Still suffering through it. A bit of patchwork there. Second free throw up and good. The lead is 11. McCobb has Banks. A run and jump here to force the tempo. Try and get it out of the ball handler's hand for Fresno. 5 fresh players about to come back. Smith lost it out of bounds, and it's going to go back the other way for Fresno. They do a good job of forcing the turnover here. Remember, Ronnie Reedus just picked up his 4th foul working against Ethan Richardson. Yeah, I think there was some contact there from Miller, but I think it came after Smith had touched the ball out of bounds. We'll have a 30-second timeout on the floor, so we're going to keep it here.
Fresno City dangerous in this situation, an outstanding three-point shooting team. And you wonder if perhaps that is what Perry Webster is talking about as they huddle up. The importance guarding the three-point line, something that the Hornets have done well all year. Opponents shooting just 30% from three-point range against the Hornets on the season. That's 5th in the 3C2A.
Lead is 11 for Fullerton here. Under 3 to go. Gallegos, LJ with it. Over to Jared Small. They need to work quickly offensively. You can't go and run clock here. Less than 2:30 to go. Small to the basket. Here comes a double team. The triple team. Small can't get it to go. It's rebounded by Ronnie Reedus in traffic. Double team over. Omaje Smith fouled by Gallegos.
That was a terrific defensive set for the Hornets. Able to get a triple team on Small. Nowhere to go with the ball, just had to force one up.
Perry Webster, irate. If they can free somebody up here. It's Coleman. Has Reedus come free. Reedus takes a couple dribbles, picks it up. Here comes Miller, timeout. Heady timeout here from Ronnie Reedus. Understanding with only 4 seconds to go to get it across the timeline.
Yeah, right now, I think when Ronnie Reedus first got the ball, he had Banks and over on the far side of the court, and I think they want to get the ball in Banks' hands and move the ball a little more quickly, but Reedus leery of committing the turnover. Holds onto the ball and then eventually has to burn the timeout.
So a battle coming up after this, game 3 on the day. 3 teams from the north. San Joaquin Delta, as we see them in the stands. second semifinal here today. First semifinal for the women coming up. It'll be 20 minutes roughly after this one. Slated for a 5 o'clock start time, but did have an overtime game earlier in the day. You need to get it across the timeline quickly. Only 4 seconds. And they don't do that. And it didn't get called. Wow.
Yeah, maybe a break there.
For Fullerton.
Clearly about a second late.
Near steal for Cole. 5 on the shot clock. Coleman going to have to make something happen. Fade away jumper 3 from the corner off the top of the backboard. Shot clock violation for the Hornets.
Well, we know that one from yesterday as well. The 3C2A rule, that ball is out of play. Well, in the vernacular of the late great Jim Durham, Rams need to pitch a shutout here.
Yep.
And to get this one, going to need a couple of 3 balls.
Dancer will try his hand at it, and he'll get one to go. Down to an 8-point advantage.
You want to look for Coleman here in a fouling situation. He's over 90% for the season from the free throw line. Banks also very good.
Rajay Smith kicks it out to Dylan Banks, 10 on the shot clock. Banks slipped down low, and let's hope he's okay.
Yeah, that's right on the tailbone as he came down. Fortunate, it doesn't look like he hit his head, but you see that he right on his backside, and we're going to get a look at it right there. And
he just slipped. Ooh.
Yeah. That is not a fun spot to land on.
No, it is not. Landed on that right hip. Game after this, it's Diablo Valley in San Joaquin Delta. The Vikings and the Mustangs, I believe it'll be their 3rd meeting of the year.
It is.
2 wins for Diablo Valley, only 1 loss on the season. That came against Sierra and San Joaquin Delta. Very tough to beat a good team 3 times in the season.
Well, that's certainly what the Mustangs are counting on. They did come closer in their second game at Diablo Valley than in the first matchup between the 2 teams. But, you know, as we often talk with the coaches throughout the season, you're a different team at the end of the season than at the start of the season. So
Absolutely.
Truly each matchup is new, and in the postseason it's certainly going to be new.
And we may be joined by Joe Hickey, who's on the radio call here today for Diablo Valley. Had him before, maybe at halftime. Had him at halftime yesterday. Gallegos down low, kicks it out to Small. 11 on the shot clock. They're going to have to get something going. Under a minute to go. Gallegos fires from 3 and hits.
You know, Mike, Gallegos hit perhaps the most important shot in the victory over Chafee in the second half when Chafee was making a run to get back in the game. He is just icy.
I think at this point you'd have to foul. And LJ Gallegos will be whistled for exactly that. I think
Yeah, down to 27.5 seconds, and the Hornets were able to run some precious time off the clock, but you know, Gallegos taken very few shots today. And that's his first 3 points. Comes at a big time, but now the Rams are going to need some help from the Hornets, and Coleman has been good in these situations. A very, very good free throw shooter. Of course, it's a non-shooting foul, should be mentioned as well. Just the 5th, so Fresno's got to burn another couple of fouls.
Moore fouled quickly. The free throws.
And Moore is an 86% foul shooter across the board. Fullerton, one of the better free throw shooting teams in the 3C2A. So you got a couple of options.
Well, you hit your free throws, and we'll see you tomorrow. If you don't, gives Fresno a chance. Terrific season for the Rams, 28-3 after the win on Thursday over Chafee. So impressive.
This is a 1-and-1.
Moore buries it. Moore struggling from beyond the arc, 2 of 10.
how do they simulate pressure in a practice situation? Is it suicides if you miss?
No, it's all about distraction from the moment. I know my basketball coach in high school, Greg Chapman, one of our assistants. He used to tell us jokes and try to get us to laugh, and that was our training for pressure in the moment, and it worked so well. I mean, I've had some moments where I've hit some big free throws down the stretch in a tight ball game, and I would always go back to some of the jokes that he would tell. Now, obviously, I had to stop myself from laughing, but it's similar to like in baseball. And I know Emory Johnson, when we do baseball, he talks about it. What does a pitching coach do to come out and calm down his pitcher when he's struggling? He'll tell him a joke, and it's something that I use. But whatever tool works, and obviously you have to have a good free throw rhythm, a good routine when you're out there. As Najee Smith misses on the front end. That's the time of formality. Gallegos from three. Coleman. They'll elect not to foul. No problem.
Hornets back in the championship game. They were there 2 years ago. A dramatic matchup with San Diego City.
Heartbreaker to the Knights. They're first in program history.
Perry wouldn't even want me to mention that, but
he would not. Well, he's not in the broadcast booth today, so I think you're going to be okay. We'll have Marcia Foster, the women's basketball coach from Fullerton College, as our color commentator analyst. Our next two games. First free throw up and good for Lance Coleman. Coleman now with 14. Well, that wasn't the most efficient day offensively for the Hornets, but defensively showing why they're the top team in the state in that category. Your final 58-49, Fullerton moves on to championship Sunday. A battle of one seeds tomorrow. Back in a moment here at SoCal College Sports. Fullerton on to Sunday. They will take on City College of San Francisco. 58-49, a winner over Fresno. And Jeff, an incredible defensive effort from the Hornets. The score really a lot closer than it would indicate. It was a dominant performance throughout.
Yeah, an especially fast start gets them out to a big lead early. And once you get that kind of lead, when you play the kind of defense that Fullerton plays, they kind of had a stranglehold on the game, and they just really never let go, never let the Rams all the way back in, despite the fact that the Rams made a push at it and played better certainly in the second half. But it's just so hard to get all the way back once a team like that gets a double-digit lead on you. You got to work so hard. And
if the first 2 days or the first two performances for City College of San Francisco has told us anything, it would be no lead is safe. Down 15 earlier today to Citrus. They roar back. They take the lead late. Citrus goes on a run. They force overtime, but the Rams from San Francisco prevail. And it's the Hornets and the Rams tomorrow at 1 p.m.
We got number one seeds from the north and the south, and we've had some drama, but here we are getting ready for the men's final tomorrow, and it's the top two seeds, maybe the matchup that you might have anticipated.
2 games in the book here on day 3. Game 3 coming up, the women's bracket. It'll be San Joaquin Delta and Diablo Valley. For Jeff Stoynoff, I'm Mike Sabin, and the entire crew here at SoCalCollegeSports.com signing off. We'll see you in a few minutes on our other channel.